They stole my baby and they raped him. He was 3 years old. They stole him. They had a convicted felon named Austin John Metter attacking me in my home at 1308 Houston Street. I had a mixed race little boy named Melbourne Halo Metter that was born in Cairo Regional Hospital on October 28, 2016. And Austin came into my home after he got out of prison from a TDC facility for assault. And he came into my home in Cairo, Texas at 1308 Houston Street, apartment 3. He was attacking me and my 22-month-old little boy. I called 911 several times, and he barricaded me inside of my home. He was fleeing from the police. He barricaded me inside of my home, attacking me and my child. It ran me from my home, making me flag down whites in the streets in Cairo on Everett Street. But they would not help me with my little baby. And I had a gun in my purse because he wouldn't let me call 911. He was attacking me. They stole him. The citizens of Texas stole Melbourne because I shot Austin in the leg. I went into Austin John Metter has a drug charge, theft charge, assault family violence charge, assault on a public servant, Class C rape, unlawful restraint, trespassing, assault with a deadly weapon on a family member. And they let him steal my baby and rape him. And they setting me up to be killed on the street and saying I'm a mental patient. They killed my child and I'm pregnant and they killing this baby and me too. I shot Austin in the leg. He's a convicted felon. I shot him in the leg when I should have shot him in the head because he turned around and raped my little boy with the Ku Klux Klan. He was white. And they took my baby from me at the scene of the shooting. And then they falsified the police report. I went into the Baytown restaurant, seafood restaurant, and they closed it down. They closed down the restaurant because I'm telling the truth. And they got all of the citizens of Texas following me around because they raped my little boy. And they killed him because they said they were racist in Texas. And Judge Tracy, he gave my baby to Austin's mother, the white convicted felon that was attacking us at the scene of the Baytown Seafood. I went inside the restaurant with my purse and the gun on my arms, and I easily could have shot him in my house. I could have shot him in the street. But instead, I went into a restaurant with my little boy in my arms and the gun in my purse. And I asked the man who worked there. Jim must be lying about what his real name was. Jim McDougal was an investigator for the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. And he let them take my baby and rape my baby. And there got photographs of my child saying that he's all right. But they killed him. And they're trying to keep me from going to the people that they gave my baby to. And they're getting HPD to cover it up. Oh God, I don't want to even keep talking like this. Lord, they got me walking the streets of Houston. They gave this man my apartment that was attacking me in my home. They gave him everything that belonged in my home, and they gave him my child and said because he was white that they had the power to do that. There was a witness, and I went and asked the witness to dial 911. with my son in my arms. And he said, okay, and he called. And then white convicted felon Austin John Metter came into the Baytown Seafood in Montgomery County, Texas, attacking me. And I was pregnant. And I had a little 22-month-old baby in my arms, and he was mixed with white. He was Austin's son. I had slept with Austin and got pregnant by him before he went to prison for assault. But I didn't know that he was a child rapist. I didn't know he was a child molester. And then the Conroe police gave my baby to Austin's mother. Cynthia O'Vera is in the KKK. And my little boy was mixed. And they gave her my baby and then took me to jail and booked me into the Montgomery County Jail and lied about it. They took me into the back of the Montgomery County Jail in the segregated housing units, and they started poisoning me and lying about my case and saying that they were just going to murder me and not do a trial, but set a trial date and never did take me. And then they started doing witchcraft. Can you get your dog, please? Showing them molesting my little boy as retaliation for the shooting. And Cynthia said they were going to rape me and rape him and kill us. And she said she was a KKK member and that she molested my little boy as retaliation in her home with her husband, Joseph O'Vera, and with white convicted felon Austin John Metter, and with the Conroe Police Department that were helping to cover up the evidence that he was assaulting me and my child. And they were saying that I was not pregnant in the jail and that I didn't need a doctor, and kept trying to murder me before the trial. And then they sued me. They let white convicted felon Austin John Metter sue me while they had me incarcerated for protecting myself and my little boy and saying that I was not pregnant in Judge Tracy Gilbert's family courtroom. They charged me when they booked me into the Montgomery County Jail in Conroe, Texas, with assault with a deadly weapon from the Conroe Police Department, where my home was, where they had the 911 calls, where Jim McDougal knew the evidence. He was a Montgomery County sheriff. They had the witness statements. They had Austin John Metter's prison record, and they erased it and said because I was black that they were going to bring my baby into jail because the town was KKK, including the blacks that lived in Conroe, Texas. They said were KKK. And they said that the Conroe police said they were going to they let Cynthia try to do a death ritual on me. And she said that they were witches in the KKK. And then she started showing me images of them molesting my son with hundreds of white men inside of the jail, and women and black men and Mexicans. And she said she was going to allow the entire jail to sleep with him and give him AIDS and herpes. And they said they were going to keep him somewhere and then have the AIDS and herpes all over his body, and that they would mutilate him and pull his limbs apart and cut his head off and cook it and make me eat it. And then she said she showed me images of my baby giving oral sex to Austin, the white convicted felon that was attacking us, and with devil horns. And then she said that she was a racist Satanist that had already sold her soul to the devil. And she said that Austin did it too, and Joseph, and the Conroe police, and my family. And she said that she was going to hell, and that they were taking my baby with them because I shot Austin in the leg, and because he was white. And she said, we're going to kill the rat in your belly, the baby that's still alive in me, because I was telling them I was pregnant and they didn't want to have any evidence for me to get out. And she said she put a hit on me in the jail, and that she was the one responsible for them giving me the poison trays and the poison drinks, because I shot Austin. And Austin, he said that he was going to give him up to be raped by gang members in the jail and by the police because he was angry because I shot him. And I didn't want to be with Austin, and I didn't want him in my home, and I told the Conroe police that. And they let Austin sue me for my baby. Patty Maginus let them charge me when they brought me into jail with assault with a deadly weapon from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, the Conroe Police Department. She let them charge me on the day of the shooting with every intent to murder me for protecting myself and because I was black, with assault, family violence. No, she let them charge me with assault with a deadly weapon. I was pregnant. There have been 19 911 calls and 15 different witnesses of him attacking me. There have been 3 911 calls that day, 2 911 calls that day. There have been several 911 calls since he was released from prison. And she let them charge me with child endangerment. But my child was okay. He was attacking him. But Austin was the one who got hurt. And she let them charge me with child endangerment. And she let them charge me with child negligence and dispersing a weapon in a public place. Then they brought me in the jail and typed up a false police report to Officer D. Schreider and C. Adams, white female, racist Klanswoman, and a biracial black male with light skin. He's a Klansman. He's a KKK member named Officer D. Schreider. And they typed up a fake police report and said that Austin never hit me, and that I just came down the street screaming with the baby in my hands, and then that he was holding my baby in the restaurant, and that there was no witness or try to get him to change his statement, and that I just shot him in the leg. They tried to cover up the shooting and murder me and say that they sued me because I was a drug addict and a prostitute, and I was a stay-at-home mother. And they're letting them frame me outside. And they sued me after they showed me him sucking Austin's dick with devil horns. And Shakina Jones, my sister, who was involved with making my baby suck Austin's dick, and she's in Channel View, and said that she did it because she wanted me to kill myself in the jail. And she is black, but I guess they're just being white supremacists. And she was setting me up to be murdered after making my baby suck his dick. And Shakina was always jealous of me. And since you gonna set me up to be killed like this, I want to tell you one thing. You're ugly. And so is Larissa. And that's why you're jealous enough to let me be killed and let my child be raped. And my baby was cuter than Carson. And yeah, it had everything to do with my looks and his daddy being white. And Austin was jealous. He was jealous of me because I was strong enough not to be wanting to be with them. And he was trying to make me jealous of the white girls. But I'm a confident African-American queen. So he decided to stick his dick in my baby's mouth because I loved my little mixed race boy more than him, and Melbourne was far more handsome than Austin. And he was jealous of Melbourne. He was jealous of him because of my bloodline that was in Melby. And he wanted to kill us because we didn't want to be with him. He was abusive. And he used his white skin to go to everybody and say that we had to be with him. And we didn't want to. He was abusing us. And he got me pregnant when he got out of prison. He was raping me and hitting me while I was pregnant, and they just tortured me with the baby. And all the blacks in Texas said they were KKK members. They had been out here, raised out here in Texas for so long, and then I thought that I would be able to go to different places and actually get help from other blacks. It turns out all of the blacks in the United States are KKK members. And see, you would never know until you had to defend yourself from a white person. Because then they'll take your child and rape him. All of the citizens. They'll come from all over 50 states and rape him. And then they'll have pictures of him smiling at school before they do it. And then they'll say, oh, he's fine. See, with pictures. And then they'll leave the mom outside telling you that they raped their baby. And then you'll call the 911 operators, and then they would have raped your child too. And then they'll say, oh, she's a mental patient, she needs to seek help, and they setting us up to be murdered. Now I'm going to calm down, because as a mother, all that crying is not going to make them give me back my son alive. They let Austin sue me after the dick sucking, after having my baby sucking his dick with devil horns, and Cynthia was putting her face in my baby's behind, and he was only 2 years old, and so and her husband Joseph was molesting them, and the police and all of the people that were mad because I shot him, and they claimed that black women shouldn't shoot guns in America, so they killed my little boy and raped him while they were chasing me around and setting me up. They set me up through LaMarcus Sanders, had something to do with them taking my baby, raping him and killing him, and having pictures of him on Drew's Facebook page. Andrew Jones is my dad. Larissa Jones, her birthday is September 24th, 1986. And she's involved with the rape and murder of my little boy and my baby and me. Shakina Jones, her birthday is January. Shakina Shantae Jones and Larissa Lachelle Jones. And after my murder, if anybody can see these videos now, write down their information, and I want you to make sure that you bring justice on these people. Shakina Shantae Jones, birthday January 30th. That's my little sister. She was always jealous of me, always trying to do stuff to hurt me, but I never thought that she would do something so wicked to get my little boy raped by Cynthia and then try to make me be a mental patient on the streets and let them murder me with a baby in me that they tortured me with for a year for protecting myself and my little boy, and then letting the police department stick dicks in his mouth and give him AIDS and herpes. And they want to do that to me as well. I'm about to be a Jane Doe. Or I'm going to be killed by the Montgomery County and the Mexicans, by all the citizens in the state of Texas who are here right now. They're coming from all 50 states here to help murder me because they claim I was the first black woman to shoot a white man in America. God said that he wanted me to press charges on Austin John Metter, but they would not allow me to. The Houston Police Department is setting me up to be killed and being very rude. Cynthia O'Vera, the one who they gave my child to, who was in the KKK, and set my baby up to be raped by all these KKK men. And now I think he's dead because they're doing too much. They're saying they have a restraining order. They're all online. I've been making videos for over a year now, and people are watching me cry for my baby and telling them that I will retaliate for what y'all did to me and his kids. And they're saying that they're going to get a restraining order to have me picked up by the people that raped and killed him. And they have had Andrew get pictures of my baby because he was alive. God stopped them from killing him when he was 2, when they were saying that when they had him sucking Austin's dick with the devil horns. They were about to tear him apart in front of me and rape him in front of me in the jail. But God stopped them from killing them, and Jesus did, and Jehovah, and then he said they were going to hell, and they said they didn't care because they were racist, including the blacks that didn't stand up for us. They said, oh, we're going to rape them too. That's what they said. That's why everybody leaving me outside. And they trying to kill me because they know I already shot Austin in the leg for hurting him. So for y'all to sit over there and make him suck Austin dick, they like, oh, well, we got to kill Miss Jones. Because they already know what God said. God was like, they deserve to be killed for what they did. But that they bullying me because I'm by myself and I don't have anybody. And so Cynthia, God showed me her trying to replace my child with other little kids and make it seem like that was him if people come and question Joseph or Cynthia or Austin about the whereabouts of my child, that they already got other little mixed race little boys to pretend like they my son. And then they let Cynthia sue me for my baby because she said that Austin was going to hand my baby over to her and let her claim that she had custody while she be getting my son raped by the racist gangs and Klansmen, KKK members, until he was dead with herpes and AIDS, and then cut his body up and kidnap me, abduct me somewhere, or however they planning to make me be in the same environment with my raped child. This is why I'm being set up. And I got another baby in me that they tortured for 36 months or longer from the jail. I was pregnant, and they got Nicki Minaj and Cardi B trying to be involved with my murder because they talking about they white now. They don't understand that they black because the white people got all the black women in America talking about they white and acting white, and they claim they black, but their ways they think they Klansmen to say that you gonna rape my child with some white people because I shot a white man. They think they're white. And Cardi B and Nicki got my baby killed and setting me up to say I'm a mental patient, and they got pictures of my son on the internet, but they won't give me a video of my child, like video call, because they can have an old video of him, but I need a video call. But God said no, she didn't do nothing wrong but protect herself, and if he is alive, she needs to be able to go to the location and pick up her child with some black